out in his grave clothes after 4 days, and were not convinced by that, other than that they needed to destroy this man. So, when people say, if I could just see, then I would believe. The evidence is that is not the case at all. Notice that Matthew also has the important verse 43 of chapter 27. He trusts in God, let God deliver him now if he desires him, for he said, I am the Son of God. Now there again is a parallel to John chapter 19, where the Jews say, we have a law, and by this law this man ought to die. Why? Because he made himself out to be the Son of God. I've covered it many times in the past, but just once again, remember, if you're ever talking to our Muslim friends, they think God has sons by the tons. And they will even sometimes be able to take you to various Son of God there. That innate, unique Son of God. Find yourself in it means that all can be called Son of God. If you honestly wrote out an exhaustive account of the trial, the arrest, trial, and crucifixion of Jesus, how long would it be? The Gospels are themselves, if you included absolutely everything. What was being said by Mary and the women, and this particular Jewish leader said this, and this particular Jewish leader said that. Again, in every one of these, there is, I think for us, we have sort of lost the value of the economy of words because gigabytes and terabytes mean nothing to us anymore. And so you can write forever and nobody cares because we got plenty of storage and manufacturing more of it all the time so that you can, I was going through some checkout stand somewhere recently, and I think I saw like a 16 gig jump drive for like $7.99 or something like that, And I remember my first 650 megabyte hard drive, and it was like $500, and it doesn't seem all that long ago. And so we've lost the idea of conciseness of expression, but that was something that was very important in those days. You could only write so much. The longer your book became, the harder it is to produce, and the fewer people that are ever going to read it. So there's a balance that has to be found, and in this balance, either because the other writers did not know of this particular story, and hence this is a very, very early dating for these Gospels, whatever it might be, Luke is the only one that records for us the conversion of one of the two who were crucified with him. So Luke 23, one of the criminals who were hanged railed at him, saying, "Are you not the Christ? Save yourself and us." But the other rebuked him, saying, "Do you not fear God, since you are under the same sentence of condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we are receiving the due reward of our deeds, but this man has done nothing wrong." And he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." And he said to him, "Truly I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise." Now this is an amazing story when you consider it. This is all we're given. So we can speculate and run around and read things in all we want. But we're only given a matter of sentences. We don't know this man's name. We don't know what he knew. We don't know anything about his upbringing. Was this a man who knew the scriptures and was a zealot, maybe, possibly, and hence maybe saw some of the fulfillments right before his eyes and recognized? Had he heard Jesus preach? We don't know. We're not told. Luke does not give us that information. It's one of those things where we can somewhat jokingly say, well, we'll get to inquire about that in heaven itself and see if we can find out what the story was there. But there is a recognition on the man's part, first of all, the sinful behavior of the other man on the other cross, that he has no right to be railing at Christ. There seems to, I don't know, in my thinking, this other man's words seem to be prompted from outside himself. In other words, it almost seems like he was trying to curry the favor of the Jewish leaders. Maybe he's hoping that they'll go ask Pilate to be merciful to him or something, because he's